Welcome back, dear children. So in the last video we have discussed about matter, isn't it? Now here we are going to discuss about kinetic theory of matter. Kinetic theory actually explains the behavior of matter. Okay, so we know what is matter. That is anything that occupies when you consider matter, it is anything that occupies space and has mass, isn't it? Now, in order to learn about the behavior of matter, we have the kinetic theory. Okay, so kinetic theory of matter gives us the behavior of matter, and here many points are coming in this, and those points are actually known as postulates. Okay, postulates. When you are learning theory, in many points will be coming there, and those points are considered as postulates. So we are going to discuss about the postulates in kinetic theory. So the first point is matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms or molecules. Okay, so all the matter is made up of tiny particles, and what are they called? Atoms or molecules. Okay, so that is the first point. Matter is made up of atoms or molecules. Now, second point, the molecules in matter are always in random motion. Okay, so when you are considering the atoms or molecules in matter, they will be always in random motion. What do you mean by random motion? Random means no particular direction. It will be moving in different directions. That is random. Okay, not in a fixed or a particular direction. So when you are considering matter, first thing is it is made up of atoms and molecules. Now the second thing, the molecules in matter are always in random motion. It will be moving here and there. Now, can you tell me which type of energy is possessed by a moving body? Okay, a moving body always possesses, what is the name given for that? It is kinetic energy, isn't it? So, the energy possessed by a body due to its motion is known as kinetic energy. So, the molecules in matter are always in random motion, and as a result, it possesses kinetic energy. That is the second postulate. Now, third one. When temperature increases, what happens to the kinetic energy? When you are giving temperature, so actually what is temperature? What is temperature? The degree of hotness or coldness of a body is known as temperature, isn't it? When you are supplying heat on a body, then only its temperature increases. What is heat? It is a form of energy. So, when temperature increases means the amount of energy which we supply also increases. So, when temperature increases, what happens to the motion of the molecules? Will it increase? Will the speed increase or decrease? Did you understand my question? We are increasing the temperature. So when temperature increases, what happens to the speed of motion of the bodies? We learned that the molecules are always in random motion. So what happens when the temperature increases? The speed of motion also increases. Why? How can you increase temperature? Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. By applying heat, only you can increase the temperature. Heat is a form of energy, so you are giving more energy. So if you are giving more energy to the molecules, what happens? If you get more energy, if they are getting more energy, they will move with more speed. Same thing. When you are playing, you will be getting tired. So in between, if somebody give you boost or complan, what happens? You will be getting more energy. Then you will be running fast, isn't it? Your speed increases. Same thing happens here also. When you are increasing temperature takes place only by supplying heat. Heat is a form of energy. So when the heat energy is supplied, the molecules are getting more energy. So what happens? They will move with more speed. So that is the third point. That is when the speed of the body depends on temperature. When that is the kinetic energy of the body depends on temperature. When temperature increases, kinetic energy also increases. Okay. So that is the third point. Now, the fourth one is there is a small space between the molecules of matter, and it is known as intermolecular space. Okay. The space between the molecules of matter is known as intermolecular space. And fifth one, there is a force of attraction between the molecules of a substance, and it is known as intermolecular force. Okay. So we know that the matter is made up of atoms or molecules. So there is a space between the atoms or molecules of matter, and it is known as intermolecular space or interparticle space. Then there is a force of attraction between these molecules, and it is known as intermolecular force. So these are the 5 points which comes in the kinetic theory of matter. Okay. So you should by heart these points. It's very important. Okay. So what is the need of kinetic theory? Kinetic theory of matter explains the behavior of matter. Okay. In order to explain the behavior of matter, we are having the kinetic theory. Now there are 5 postulates in kinetic theory. First one, matter is made up of atoms or molecules. All the matter is made up of atoms or molecules. Second one, these atoms or molecules are always in random motion. They will be moving here and there. Third, and as a result of this motion, what happens? It possesses kinetic energy. Okay. Now third one, kinetic energy of the molecules depends on the temperature. When temperature increases, kinetic energy of the molecules also increase. So when you write for the third point, you have to write only this sentence. No need for all the sentences given in the textbook. You can just listen. First point, it's very simple. Matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms or molecules. Second one, atoms or molecules are always in random motion. That means it possesses kinetic energy. Third one, kinetic energy of the molecule increases with increase in temperature. Only that sentence is required. Okay, 2 or 3 sentences are given in the textbook, but only this point is needed. Now the fourth one, there is a space between the molecules in matter, and it is known as intermolecular space. Then there is a force of attraction between the molecules in matter, and that is known as intermolecular force. So these 5 postulates are very, very important. Okay. So you should be thorough with the kinetic theory of matter. So we have learned in the kinetic theory of matter as the molecules in matter are always in random motion. In order to explain that, few examples are given in your textbook. Okay. How can you prove that the particles in matter are always in random motion? So can you just tell me few examples? Common examples in our day-to-day life. When you open the perfume bottle and if you spray it from one corner of the room, you will feel the fragrance in the another corner also. Isn't it? And sometimes in the next room also you will feel that fragrance. Same thing in the case of leakage of gas in the kitchen. So if some gas leakage is there in the kitchen, we will easily smell it because These are gaseous molecules and they are free to move apart, isn't it? So since the molecules in matter are free to move, we will feel the fragrance or the smell. Now, another example. Now I have given you about the perfume bottle. The next one is about an incense stick, agarbatti. Usually in puja rooms and all, you will be burning the agarbatti or camphor. And you can smell it in the next room also. Why? Because these molecules are free to move. Especially gaseous molecules. All the molecules will move, but gaseous molecules can move out of its particular place, isn't it? They are completely free to move, not like solids or liquids. If you are considering solid, it can move only in that particular space. In the case of liquids also, liquids, the molecules cannot move out of that beaker or the container, but in the case of gases, they are free to move. So what happens? The smell or the fragrance from the incense stick will be there in the neighboring rooms also. Now, we have discussed about the gases, about solids or liquids. For example, you can take a glass of water. Now put some salt into it. So at first you can see the clear water and the salt below that. Don't stir it, keep it as such for some time. And after that, when you check, you cannot see even a small bit of salt in it. What happened there? All the salt get mixed with water. If it remain as such, will it get mixed? If the molecules of salt are stationary, then the salt will remain as such. It won't get mixed with water. So this proves that the particles in matter are always in random motion. It is not necessary that it should be in solid state, liquid state or gaseous state. In all the cases, the particles in matter or molecules will be in random motion. Okay. So all these things explains that the particles are in random motion. So is it clear, children? So what all things we learned? We have discussed about the kinetic theory of matter, then examples to show random motion, isn't it? Random motion of the molecules. Now we will move to the next topic, states of matter. So which are the common states in which matter can exist? Matter mainly exists in the form of solid, liquid and gas, isn't it? So these are the common states. Then are there only 3 states for matter? No. Which is the 4th state of matter? It is plasma. I think you have heard about this. Plasma. Then which is the 5th state of matter? Do you know which is the 5th state? It is Bose-Einstein condensate. Okay. So these all things will come only in higher levels. Just I told you about that. Okay. 4th state, I hope you know which is the 4th state of matter, plasma. 5th state is Bose-Einstein condensate. Then 6th one is Fermi-Dirac. Okay. Fermi-Dirac. Just keep it in your mind. So we'll be discussing only about these 3 common states of matter. The 3 common states of matter are solid, liquid and gas. So I think I don't want to explain much about this because you know what it is, isn't it? So what all things should I say from this? First we'll take about solids. So what are the special features of a solid? What about the molecules in a solid? They are tightly packed, isn't it? So the first thing, molecules in a solid are so tightly packed. Now the next one, what about the interparticle space? It is very less, isn't it? Because the solids are so tightly packed means the spacing between the molecules are less. So the interparticle space is less in solids, but the interparticle force is maximum. Since the molecules are so tightly packed, the force of attraction between 2 molecules is so high. So that is the next point. Then what is the next thing? Since the intermolecular force is so high, it cannot be compressed easily. Then molecules, due to this interparticle force, molecules cannot slide one over the other. That means it cannot flow. Okay. Then solids possess a definite shape and a definite volume. So these are the basic properties which you should remember. Okay. So which are they? First one, usually the first point what we will say is a solid possesses a definite shape and a definite volume. Shape is there, a fixed volume is there. Then here the molecules are so tightly packed, they won't move. We'll say that they vibrate about their mean position. Since they are so tightly packed, it cannot move, it will vibrate. Intermolecular force is maximum, but intermolecular space is minimum. Due to the intermolecular force, what happens? Due to the strong intermolecular force, it cannot be compressed easily. Then the molecules cannot slide one over the other. So it cannot flow. Now, moving to the liquids. What are things you can say about liquids? When you are considering liquids, it doesn't have a definite shape. It takes the shape of the container in which it is taken. Then, but it possesses a definite volume. Isn't it? So liquids doesn't possess a definite shape. It takes the shape of the container in which it is taken. Then the next thing is it has a definite volume. Now the intermolecular force is less compared to that of solids, but the intermolecular space is more than solids. So here the molecules, since the intermolecular force is less, the molecules can slide one over the other. That means they can flow. Liquids can flow. Then it can be compressed than solids. Okay. Now, moving to the gases. So, what are things you can say about gases? So, if I consider this portion, only this much will be there for gas. That is, in the case of gases, the molecules are so loosely packed. Then, it doesn't possess a definite shape and a definite volume. No shape, no volume. Here the interparticle space is maximum and interparticle force is minimum. As a result, what happens? The molecules are free to move apart. In the case of liquids, the interparticle force is more than that of gases, so that the molecules can move, but its movement is limited within the container. It cannot move out of the container. But in the case of gases, the interparticle force is so less, so that it can move freely in all the directions. Okay. So I hope it is clear. I don't want to give much explanations for this, because these are the common things which you have learned in the previous years, isn't it? So once again, I'll just tell you the points, and with that we will stop. So solids, definite shape and definite volume. Particles are so tightly packed so that the molecules just vibrate about their mean position. Intermolecular force is so high, intermolecular space is so less. Since the intermolecular force is so high, it cannot be compressed easily and it cannot flow, because the molecules cannot slide one over the other. Liquids doesn't possess a definite shape. It takes the shape of the container in which it is taken, but it possesses a definite volume. Then the interparticle force is less than solids, but the interparticle space is more. So what happens? The molecules can slide one over the other so that it can flow. The molecules are so loosely packed in gases. It doesn't possess a definite shape and a definite volume. Interparticle spacing is so high and interparticle force is so less. It can easily be compressed. Then it can flow easily because the interparticle force is so less. Okay, so I think it is clear for you. Now you can take your textbook and take page number 12. Please take page number 12 in your textbook. Then you can see the questions answer in detail. Okay. So first question, list examples from daily life where random motion of particles can be easily observed. So we have discussed about 3 or 4 examples. You can just write any 2 examples for that. Okay, about the perfume bottle, incense stick, then salt and water. So you can write any 2 from that. Okay, then there I think I didn't tell you about the 4th point given in your book. That is, when you open a dark room, you can see the path of light entering into the room. And have you noticed there the dust particles will be dancing there. You can see the movement of the dust particles in it. So this also proves the random motion of molecules or particles. So first question I told you, you should write in your notebook. Okay, I'm telling the homework questions. So you have to write these question answers in your notebook and you have to upload in the Google Classroom. Put today's date, write the heading of the chapter, then you should write this. So first question I told you I need only 2 points. Now second one, state the postulates of kinetic theory. So please write all the 5 points and I have reduced the size. Since 2 or 3 sentences are given in the textbook, I told you what you have to write. I need just the main point. Then next one, question number 3, that is about the differences between the states of matter. So that also you should write. Okay, if you want you can just draw a diagram for it about solids, liquids and gases. Then point wise you can write solids, definite shape and volume, what all things they have asked that you can write, or simply write these properties what we have discussed. Okay, so these 3 questions should be completed and you have to send it through the Google Classroom. Okay, so today by 8 p.m. after that I won't check. So before 8 p.m. you have to send all the 3 question answers. Then tomorrow's Google Meet, I'll be asking questions from this portion. Read the textbook. After hearing the video, read the textbook thoroughly, underline the important points, then write the homework questions and study. Okay. So thank you children. Have a nice day.